And another guest has arrived. Matthew Lewis is here, star of... they wrote here, star of Happy Lewis.
Oh, that's very
Happy
nice.
Lewis. It says Matthew Lewis has joined the cast of Happy Lewis for the second series, which is on BBC One on Tuesdays at 9. Now, tell me all about Happy Lewis, because I've heard of Happy Valley.
No, Happy Lewis is my memoirs.
Right.
They're not released yet,
Right.
unfortunately.
Well, that's what we're announcing this morning.
Yeah.
Happy Lewis is going to be out on... No. But morning, Matthew. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, mate. How are you?
I'm really good, thank you. I'm good. I'm all right today. Thanks for coming in this morning.
Not at all.
And we've got to speak about Happy Valley, which we'll get into in a second, because I mean that's why you're here. And also, people love this show. It's such a successful, loved show. But before we get into that, we've got to talk about this facial hair, Matthew, because that is the thing that's staring me in the face.
Yeah, literally. I can only apologise.
I'm into it.
Really?
You look like a Victorian butcher.
Well, that's half right.
Right.
I'm a Victorian policeman in Ripper Street.
Right.
Which is out now on Amazon. But yeah, I've sort of had this since September, and I've got it until April when we finish.
September?
Yeah, it's been a long old run.
Have you done the full moustache and sideburn look before?
I have not. I when I first got to set, I didn't have it, and so they gave me Jonathan Rhys-Meyer's moustache,
Right.
which was the one that he wore on the Tudors, and they still had knocking about for some reason.
That's just like hanging around.
Yeah, I guess
that's
so.
disgusting.
So they glued that on for a month while I grew my own underneath.
Wow, that's kind of gross.
Yeah.
So somewhere in like television land, there's a cupboard
There's a
full of moustaches.
Moustache archive where you can go and pick a mix on whoever's you want.
That is weird.
Yeah, it's mental.
That is weird. Someone today is going to be organising moustaches.
I feel like I've given away an industry secret here.
They're gonna come home from work and someone's gonna say, "How was work?" And they say, "It's all right. I organised Matthew Lewis's moustache."
Been combing Corbett's moustache. Like that.
So weird.
Yeah.
So weird. But quite a commitment to go real. I mean, to really have the tash and really have the sideburns.
No offence to Jonathan, but his moustache on me looked dreadful. So I felt compelled to grow my own. The novelty wears off pretty sharpish.
Is it getting more attention or less attention? Are you noticing people in the street being like, "Hello, mustachioed man," or they're like, "Ugh"?
I get more attention in terms of people go, "What the hell is that on your face?" but nobody really recognises me with it, which is quite nice. The worst bit is when I go home to Leeds, because like I moved to London just over a year ago. And then I go back to Leeds and everyone's like, "Oh, I see. Moved to London, grown a stupid moustache." You just can't get away from it.
Yeah, they think you're being like a hipster.
Exactly.
When actually it's for your acting.
Correct.
It's for my acting career. And so talk to us about Happy Valley, because this is a show that always trends, and it's a police show, but it's not like The Bill or something, or like it's got that thing we were saying, like kind of like a box set where when you watch an episode, you want to watch the next one. It's kind of like edge of your seat business.
Yeah, I mean it's an ironic title. Because it's really not happy at all.
No.
But it's one of the most brilliant pieces of writing I've ever read. The first series was an absolute masterpiece. And so when the opportunity came up to be in the second, there was, I mean, I jumped at the chance naturally, but there was an air of trepidation there as well, because following something like that and joining a cast like that was pretty nerve-wracking. But no, it's great. I mean, I loved it, and I was happy to be a part of it. And Sally Wainwright, the writer, is exceptional, and Sarah Lancashire, who's the main character, Sergeant Carewood, she's just one of the best actresses I've ever seen. Never mind work with.
Really? Wow.
She's exceptional.
Wow.
So it's it's been really fun, and I play a very interesting character.
Yeah. It's not happening for him, is it?
No,
it's kind of a little bit dark side.
Exactly that. He's had a rough start in life, and whereas he's not quite an alcoholic just yet, he's kind of well on his way, and he's showing the starting signs of that. And coupled with his complete inability to sort of express his emotions, it's kind of it's a bit of a tinderbox, really. And he has a hell of a temper on him as well, which we start to see over the series come out a little bit more.
Now, this is if we knew him, if it was a real person, we'd be like, "Oh God, he's a bit stressful to hang out with. It'd be a bit annoying." But imagine as an actor, it's a great character to play, because you're playing someone like on the edge who could just flip.
Yeah, it's really, really interesting for me. When I read the role, it was definitely what attracted me to it was the intensity and how interesting he was as a person, and that's kind of what I enjoy the most about being an actor, is that you you try and get into the mind of these people and figure out what it is that makes him tick. And you don't play him as a baddie. You don't sit there twirling the mustache, going, "I'm a bad guy." He's just a bloke who's had a really naff upbringing, and he goes about his life any way he can, and certain circumstances happen that means that he does make some mistakes.
So I like that you're thinking he's not a baddie. He doesn't know he's a baddie. He's not like, I'm going to be horrible.
Well, that's the idea. I mean, every time he wakes up in the morning, he doesn't go, "Oh, I'm going to be a bad guy today." He doesn't. I mean, things happen, and he's maybe wired in a certain way, but no one thinks they're a bad guy. I don't think in real life, do they?
I don't know, because if they did, they wouldn't be a bad guy.
Well, yeah,
they'd be like, "Oh, I'll stop being an idiot."
Exactly.
What about like when you're getting into that frame of mind when you're trying to be a character like this? Can you, like, on a break, like, go on the internet and have a laugh and like call your mates, or do you have to be like, right, I'm being Sean and I'm being a baddie? Do you have to like get into like the frame of mind?
Yeah. I mean, every actor's got different techniques and things, and that's what I've enjoyed over the last sort of 20 years that I've been doing it, is just watching other people and their techniques and their approaches to acting and characters. For me, usually I'm pretty chilled with it all, but this one in particular, whether it was the stress of the fact that this was such an amazing show, I didn't want to mess it up, and also the fact that Sean is such a complex person. I was a bit intense. I sort of went into my own world a little bit in between takes. Yeah. And I had to keep apologising to the rest of the cast.
Sorry, it's acting, guys.
Yeah, sorry, love. I'll be fine later.
It's acting. I'm really nice. I'm Matthew Lewis. I'm really nice. Fear not. Right, we're going to play a bit of Lapsley, and then we're going to chat more to Matthew Lewis, star of, not Happy Lewis, but Happy Valley. We are joined by Matthew Lewis this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
We are talking all about Happy Valley, which is on BBC One Tuesday nights, 9 o'clock. I was going to say last night, but today's Thursday. Tuesdays at 9 if you want to go and see it. And as we were saying, first series won a BAFTA.
Yeah.
Which is huge, right? Now you've joined series 2. If you don't win a BAFTA again,
I'll feel personally responsible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for that.
That's what I thought. I feel like you will, though. I can feel it in my waters. I can feel it. Do you know what? We have so many people on this show. My mum's not bothered. Like, she don't really listen. She doesn't like the music. Which is fair enough. She's not meant to. But she was so excited that I was talking about Happy Valley at the weekend and the fact that you were on.
Okay.
So shout out to Eileen. She loves it.
Oh, thanks for listening, Eileen.
It's the only time she'll be listening. And we've got her as well. We talk about like everything that you've been in. So much great stuff. Ripper Street, Happy Valley, The Syndicate, Harry Potter, every single film. So much stuff that's so loved. How do you know, like, when you're getting these scripts that it's gonna be good? Like, how do you know? Does someone tell you? Is there like a script advisor, or do you just read it and figure it out? Like, how do you know what's going to be good? I
don't know, really. It's a question that I've been asking myself for a long time. It's a weird world because you get sent scripts all the time, and some of them are dreadful. But on the whole, they're usually pretty good. And I ask people. I ask my brother's an actor as well, Anthony, and I ask him what he thinks of it. I ask my agent. I ask my anyone who is around me, friends and family and stuff. Yeah. I try and get opinions on stuff because I don't know if there's any real science to it, to be honest. But I've just got lucky. I've been the stuff that I've been offered, I've ended up being pretty good. Now, don't name the show or the film or anything, but have you ever got a script that you thought, this is really good, and then you've gone for a meeting or you started filming and you're like, this is going to be rubbish. Yeah. Because on stuff must look good on paper, and then when you get there, like, the director has a different vision, or maybe you're like, that's not actually what I thought it was going to be. Yeah. Has that happened? Yeah. I'm not going to name any names, but it was actually one last year that I got sent the script for, and I was like, oh, this is really good actually, and the role was great, really cool, and I went in and the director just didn't. I think he was a bit of a chancer. I think he'd written it himself as well, right? And he basically just made it up. just made up. Just as we're going. Just made it up. He was like, yeah, we've got all this money. We've got like $10 million. I'm like, no, you don't. Do you mean a tenner? Yeah, basically. Yeah. I think he met someone in a pub once who went, yeah, I'll fund your movie. And that meant $10 million. It's probably me drunk. Yeah. Don't worry about it, BBC One will do it. And then obviously doing stuff like Harry Potter, which is like huge films, and like you're in all 8 films. When you're going to go and doing TV, and I guess it's kind of like the golden age of
television. Like now, people love telly shows. Is there a massive difference to when you're shooting a huge movie like that on that scale to a great drama on the BBC?
Growing up, I always thought that there would be. You'd see that difference between a big Hollywood blockbuster and something on the telly. But actually, like you said, this golden age that we're going through, it's very different now. Film, TV rather, needs to look like film for a start. One of the things that shocked me so much about Ripper Street is how cinematic it is.
Yeah.
The directors of photography that they get in are second to none, and a lot of film actors are wanting to get involved now for that reason. You get the luxury of being able to do character development over 10, 20 episodes, but the quality of the writing and the production design is just unbelievable nowadays. And people won't accept anything less. In the world of Netflix and Amazon and HBO, people just will not accept anything looking less than Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it needs to look amazing. And especially everyone's got really good tellies now. My mum and dad got a new telly. I went up at the weekend. We watched Friends. It was like they were in my living room. It was like I was looking through a window into Monica's apartment. I was like, it's too real, this telly. So it kind of needs to look great, you're right.
Absolutely, yeah. And everyone's just got to step up their game. And I'm not saying that people didn't before on TV, but it's now become as good as any films that you see out there. And I think it's become as well respected as any film.
Totally has, yeah. What have you been watching? Like, what are the shows that you've been getting into that you love?
Well, I've been a really big fan of Better Call Saul. The first series I thought was just exceptional.
I've still not watched that.
Have you seen Breaking Bad?
Yeah, Breaking Bad.
Oh, you have to see it then.
Yeah, we had Aaron Paul on the show on Monday, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and we love him. We're obsessed with him. He's been on a few times, and we have like Aaron Paul panic when he comes in. I think he's like Michael Jackson. I think he's like the most famous person in the entire world when he comes in. And do you know what else I watched that I've got into is the People versus O.J. Simpson on BBC Two.
The Cuba Gooding Jr.
Cuba Gooding Jr. and John Travolta. It's brilliant. That's really, really good. But you're not in them, so let's not talk about them.
Yeah.
So yeah, whatever.
Moving swiftly.
Yeah, moving on. And so this year there's going to be 2 new Harry Potter spin-offs. There's going to be Harry Potter and the Cursed Child and Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Are you going to be in them? Are you excited about these? Do you know what's going on with these?
I'm not in them. I don't really know anything at all about the Cursed Child, which is a play. I know it's a play. I don't know anything else more than that. Fantastic Beasts, I did go and visit the set. I went to go and see David Heyman, the producer, who did all the Harry Potter films as well. And he was like, do you want to have a little look around? So we went around and met Eddie Redmayne. And he kind of explained to me exactly what happens in that. I had no idea before, but he gave me the full sort of plot rundown. Right. So I am well versed in that.
Did he tell you the end?
No. He asked me if I was going to see it. I said I probably will see it.
Yeah.
So he was like, I'll leave that as a bit of a surprise then.
Did he ask you if you're going to see it? Yeah, you're not going to say no to Eddie Redmayne's face. No.
No, mate, it sounds rubbish.
No, I'm watching that O.J. Simpson show on BBC Two. I can't actually, Eddie, I'm busy. Matthew, thank you for coming in.
That's all right, thanks for having me.
It's great to have you in, and make sure everyone checks out Happy Valley Tuesday nights, BBC One. It's really good. So watch it.
Cheers.
Thank you, Matthew.